Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to East West Reacts, and today we have something very special that I've been wanting to share with you all for a while now. I've actually had this planned for a while, almost to like the start of this channel, which is almost at a year in about a few months, so it's kind of crazy there. But I'm going to be going through several different comic book and manga outlets who are black owned or black centered and are pushing forward in these spaces for future creatives like themselves and a lot of others who want to get out there and tell their stories. So I'm sure some of these are pretty well known. If you're out there on any Twitter or you're really out there looking for comics like this, you know some of these names. But my hope is to give some people something new, as well as also to get something new myself, because what I'm really hoping for too is to get a lot of great recommendations on these sorts of things from you guys, so I can go ahead and expand my catalog, check out some new things, etc., etc. So with that, go ahead and drop any of your recommendations down in the comments below, and while you're down there, as always, don't forget to comment and subscribe. I appreciate it all so much, so go ahead and definitely do that for me. Thank you. So first thing we're going to be getting into are the comics, of course. So I've got two to list. I don't think either of these need much introduction, but if you're not familiar, the first one we're going to get into is Konkrete Comics. They're an independent company whose mission is to create a diverse range of comics for anybody and everyone. They have such a crazy lineup of heroes. There's really something in there for everyone. So if you're looking for some great representation, look no further than there. I'm currently into two of their comics right now, The Acolyte and Odina, and it's a lot of fun for both of them. I like the company as a whole, and I like their motto, and they really stick true to it, where they say, keep it concrete. So the first one I want to get into is, of course, Acolyte. This is, I think, their #1 comic. I also might want to say their flagship comic, because whenever I see Concrete, it's usually the front image of any of their products they're displaying. So I definitely would say it's their flagship comic right now. He's about a cosmic superhero who doesn't really want to deal with the responsibilities that are given to him, but he's willing to do what he has to and give in to this destiny that he sort of really unfolds before him, the further he gets into this. He has a really cool design. I really like his abilities, of course, and he kind of reminds me a little bit of a Green Lantern. I'm a big GL fan, so when I saw someone who looked, I honestly thought it was a Blue Lantern at first. So when I saw the design, I'm like, oh, I gotta go ahead and check this out. This is really cool. But which led me to write the Concrete Comics. So I wasn't really disappointed at all, especially once I got to reading this. So if you're a fan of anything space related like Green Lanterns, or if you're a fan of the cosmic Marvel content, which I am as well, you're going to really enjoy this, because I get a lot of that from this as well. And also I would love to, this is something I would actually really love to see animated, because the pages are just so colorful. He does a whole lot with his abilities, so it's something I think that if you take it to a screen or an animated version, you can really do wonders with this sort of title. So the second one I'm going to briefly get into, because I actually have just started reading this one, so I don't really have a whole lot to say right now, but nonetheless, go ahead and check it out, because from what I've read in the first chapter, it's actually really good. It's called Odina. It's about a superhero who kind of has some layers to her. She's retired, and she kind of has a bit of a history with secret organizations and hero work herself. So you kind of got to dig into her and her early years, and sort of flesh out a lot of these secrets for her in the world, really. But so far, it's actually really good. So if you're looking for something like that, a really great superheroine to follow, go ahead and check out Odina. But overall, go ahead and support this independent company, because they're really doing great work over there. So take a look at their website. They also have digital versions of all their comics for sale, as well as physicals. All of that is going to be down in the description below, so go ahead and check it out. Okay, the second comic book and last one is going to be none other than Milestone Comics. This brand really doesn't need much introduction, honestly. They're sort of a frontiersman when it comes to this sort of thing. They've been out there for years pushing the culture, and they've just recently come back this last summer with a new line, and I've actually been really excited. So of course, Milestone Comics, they have been in the business bringing back bringing forward black superheroes for years, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you are familiar with some of their products before, and if you aren't, you're going to be surprised. So one of them, which I'm reading, of course, is Static Shock. Whether you read the old comics or you watched the TV show by Warner Brothers, that's one of their products, something that they helped push forward, the TV show as well. So they brought back Static Shock comic book, and it's actually been really cool seeing Virgil Hawkins in sort of a new age version of himself, new challenges, new things going on. It's been really cool to see him coming forward into this light. The design's really great, but it all still really sticks true to the original character. And if you're someone who loved the original comic books, or really the TV show too, which was my first introduction to the character, this is definitely going to be up your alley. So go ahead and check out Static Shock in their store and buy up all the comics. You're going to love them. And also, they've got a bunch of other ones out there, of course. You've got the Big Man Icon, of course. You can't go wrong with him. It's another classic superhero, also Justice League member. And they also have another title that I haven't checked out yet, but I've heard really good things about, is Blood Syndicate as well. So go ahead and check that out. I'm not really too sure what it's about right now, but it's on my list for sure. So like I said, Milestone has been pushing this stuff forward, and they've been having a lot of partnerships and success with DC as well. If you watched last year's DC Fandom when they sort of announced their comeback, they announced a lot more too, along with their comic line coming back. So there's a chance that soon enough we might see something like Static Shock on the TV screen or the big screen if they have their way. So something I'm definitely looking forward to. Go ahead and check out Milestone. They've got news reports and blogs as well to keep up with all the stuff they're doing. And as always, they're going to be down in the description below. So we're going to be shifting gears into the manga section here. And before we do, I just want to give a quick disclaimer, because this is some of my favorite stuff here. I really got to give a shout out to all of these studios or creators out here for this section, because it's really great to see them work. So we have several different manga studios to go through. And I've been enjoying everything that all these guys have had to offer so far. They're all young creators. They're passionate about their work and the genre as a whole, whether it be manga or anime. They're big anime heads, I know for a fact. I think they're all really trying to tell the stories that they've wanted to really see growing up. And it's really just been a pleasure to watch them grow, because they're all very active on Twitter and throwing their stuff out there. So it's really cool to see them, see their ideas grow into these brands that they're producing right now. So first one I want to talk about is called Shade of Red. This is a team. They are a very passionate group. I follow them on Twitter and some of the creators behind it, and they all really love what they do. They are led by a creator based out of the UK, LSF. He has such a huge love for his creation, and I really think it's going to take him far. Shout out to Abe, Prince Aliwal, one of the writers for this series. Also Sam the Manga Man, who's another member of the Anime Lately crew. If you haven't checked out their podcast, go ahead and check them out. They're really awesome. I'm going to have a link to their YouTube channel down in the description below for this too as well, because they're huge supporters of a lot of these other series, and I actually found out two of these studios through their weekly podcast, so go ahead and check them out. This is a story. It's about a divided world and divided races within it as well, who all have a history combating a devil race that sort of has a threat to sort of come back and destroy the world. It's filled with magic and fighting, of course, so that brought me in instantly. It also mentioned dragons in the very first chapter, so as soon as I saw dragons, I'm honestly sold on that too. But I really did come to like, or am coming to like, the main characters, of course, Gianna and Zora, of course. I really like them, their morality, their capabilities, and just seeing them sort of grow in this world too, because they're just so young, but they're still figuring things out. And it really gives me like some shonen vibes a little bit, because the comedy is there for this series. It's ever present. I actually really enjoy the comedy that they have to give to this series, because it's really enjoyable. And another thing I really like about this series is that in the latest chapters, they're not afraid to like dive deep and really make you like feel something about their characters in this world, because it gets messed up, but like in like a good way. Like they do it really well. So they're not afraid to really dive in there, it seems. And you know, like I said, the comedy's there, the characters are pretty good so far, and it's really just starting out. I believe they've got about 11 chapters out right there, so go ahead and check them out on Webtoons. It's of course Webtoons. You can go ahead and check them out on free. They're on the Canvas version. So yeah, do that. So the second manga I want to get into is titled Gray. This is another manga. It's got multiple chapters out. For anyone who enjoys futuristic or post-apocalyptic type stories, definitely go ahead and check it out. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Psycho-Pass when I was first going through it, like the first chapter or two. Which is a gray anime thriller. I really enjoyed it, so that kind of sunk me in too right away. So shout out to the creator for this, Chris Hornet. He does a really great job with this story, and he also does a really great job of fleshing this story and the world out from the jump. So he really got like right into some of the details and some of the drama and action that's going on in this world. So I didn't really feel lost at all, which I really appreciated. So things like that, really good world building, you know, especially right off the jump, I really enjoy. And just world building in general. You know, my bread and butter is One Piece and Tower of God, so there's really not much more world building than those two. So go ahead and check out Chris and his socials. Go as well and check out the official site and the store as well. Go ahead and buy out their volumes, because it's a really good read, and the art's just gets exponentially better too as it goes on too. Last but not least is Studio Maho. And this is a very talented group of young black creators that I found on Twitter. Also I found through the Anime Lately crew, shout out to them. And I really like the studio because I've seen a lot of growth from them, especially in the year of 2021, when they also launched their second title, Blade Titans, which is honestly, you know, besides Static, is my favorite thing that I've been reading out of this whole like list. So one thing I like about this team is they're very personable. I follow most of the team on social media, I believe, if not all of them. And they love to talk about their work, and they're passionate about everything on there. So it's really cool to sort of see them, you know, tease things for their projects, putting their ideas out there, and really getting to see it all unfold. So shout out to them. And also because you can also find their projects on Webtoons as well, which is really nice. So go ahead and check that out. It's going to be down in the description below, of course, but also it's going to be the link to their official site. So go ahead and buy up some of their copies. You can get them signed by the crew, or you can go ahead and just get them unsigned, but I got mine signed. So I had to go and grab these real quick because I wanted to go ahead and show them off, just because I'm actually really happy I got both copies of these. So I went ahead and got the first volumes to each of their projects out on their store. We've got God Punch, of course. Of course, I went ahead and got mine signed. I'm going to cover my name there because, you know, why not? That's really cool. And the artwork is really great. Yin Designs, I follow on Twitter. He's really talented, so I really enjoy his work. And of course, Blade Titans as well. This is really my favorite thing. I'm really enjoying this, so I'm going to talk about them in a minute. I gotta get them signed because, you know, I really like this studio. I think they could really do something like big one day, so just to have these would be really cool. But without further ado, let's get into the first title of theirs, their story, God Punch, which I think is honestly something that really put them on the map. It's a really cool fantasy, and it's really just starting out, but it has so much potential. And it's definitely my bread and butter because it's a world of magic, angels and demons. I can't ask for much more of that, especially when you've got a good coming of age story with the main character Percy, and he's sort of finding out his destiny after he's sort of turning 17. And there's a lot of mystery surrounding him and his family, and with their, you know, their history and what they're capable of. So a lot of it's just a really big mystery that I'm waiting to sort of get unfold. And yeah, So it's definitely a great one to go ahead and check out. Definitely go ahead and get, I believe they got 3 volumes on the store right now, but you can also go ahead and read this on Webtoons too, but definitely go ahead and support as always. Buy a copy if you can. And the second title, of course, Blade Titans, my favorite thing so far out of this list. If you like futuristic worlds and mechs, of course, go ahead and read this. So I really like the female lead. Forgive me if I'm butchering the name too, but I think it's Myra. But she lives in a futuristic city, and the city is really great. I like the design. It reminds me a lot of like Coruscant. From Star Wars, with the different levels to it. You've got the rich people who live above and they can see the sky and the clouds, of course, but the further down you go into the city, the less sunlight there is and the poorer and more dangerous the districts get. So that's really sort of like the setting that they've got here, and I really like that too. Very simple to understand, but you can do so much with it, especially when you've got, of course, corrupt people at the top and people at the bottom who are just trying to make it by. So I really like what this story is going with so far, and I can't wait to see what they do, of course. I'm not going to spoil anything because, of course, I want everyone to go ahead and check out The Secret. But yeah, go ahead and read Blade Titans. This is really good. So yeah. But that's going to be it for me, guys. That's everything I wanted to talk about. Thanks for tuning in again. And everyone, I hope you got something from this video, something new, something you can go ahead and check out and hopefully enjoy. But of course, please go ahead and drop something for me. Go ahead and let me know about any recommendations on anything like this in the comments down below. Comics, manga, or even anime studios. If you've got that, please throw it my way. I'm trying to check these things out. So yeah, thank you so much, and while you're down there, as always, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Take care.